We hear it all the time. Read more, read more. But like, why?
Yeah, it can be kind of vague advice.
Totally. Especially
Yeah.
when you're trying to like actually level up your English skills.
Exactly.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into WHY reading is like a secret weapon for language learning.
Hmm.
We're taking an episode from English Dose, this podcast all about, well, English.
Perfect.
And we'll unpack the best tips and tricks they've got for you.
It's like, imagine learning new words not from a list,
Right.
but by like overhearing them in a real conversation.
Yeah.
That's the magic of reading, kinda. You're not just memorizing, you're seeing how native speakers actually use the language.
The podcast host, Emma, she calls it learning vocabulary in its natural habitat.
I love that.
Right. And she gives this example of the word thrilled.
Oh, okay.
So picture this.
Yeah.
You're reading, and you see a sentence like, she was thrilled to receive the unexpected gift.
Gotcha.
Even if you don't have a dictionary handy, you kind of get what thrilled means, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the context that clues you in.
Context is everything. And like, the more you see a word pop up in different situations, the better you understand all those little shades of meaning.
It's true. You start to use it more naturally yourself, too.
Exactly.
So it's not just about definitions. It's about seeing how the word actually works in the wild.
Exactly.
Okay, so Emma also suggests keeping a vocabulary notebook.
A classic, but a good one.
Any tips on how to make that even more effective?
Definitely. So instead of just jotting down the word and definition, try writing your own sentences.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that way you're actively using it, and it helps you remember it so much better. It's like, you pick up the rhythm and the flow just by being around it.
Totally. And it's not just vocabulary either, right? The podcast talked about how reading helps you with grammar, too.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
It's like you're not hitting the books, studying all these rules.
Right.
You're absorbing them naturally.
It's kind of like learning by osmosis,
They gave the example of, let me see, the present perfect continuous tense.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever, like, really sat down and studied that one?
Oh, gosh, no.
Me neither. But you read enough, and you start to get how it works.
Your brain picks up the pattern without you even realizing it. It's amazing.
So cool. And this leads to something even more mind-blowing, right?
Lay it on me.
Reading can actually help you start, like, thinking in English?
It's true. When you're constantly immersed in the language, your brain starts to process it more directly.
So you're not translating everything in your head anymore.
Exactly. It's
Love
like
that.
you're building a new mental pathway, a shortcut.
So for you listening, imagine, like, just responding in English without that pause.
It's a game changer. It's like, fluency unlocked.
The podcast talked about how reading teaches you the way native speakers really express themselves.
Yes.
Not just the textbook stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's those little things like, the idioms,
The slang.
the informal language. It all adds up.
So it's not just about being correct. It's about sounding natural.
Exactly. That's the key.
And you know what I loved?
That's that.
Emma really stressed that you got to enjoy if you read.
Of course.
Like, learning shouldn't be a chore,
No way.
It's got to be fun.
Absolutely. It's all about finding stuff that clicks with you. Like if you're into current events,
Yeah.
check out some English news websites. Or are you a movie buff?
I am, actually.
Perfect. There are tons of reviews, articles, even screenplays out there.
Oh, cool. So there's really something for everyone.
Tons.
Now, the podcast really hammered home the importance of consistency.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Big time.
Like, even a little bit each day can make a huge difference over time.
Think of it like, exercise.
Yeah.
Those regular workouts make you stronger.
It's the same with reading. So find a time that works for you, whether it's, I don't know, on your commute,
Before bed.
with your morning coffee.
Whatever works. Just make it a habit.
Ex-
And don't be afraid to, push yourself a little.
Oh, I like that.
Try reading something that's like slightly above your level.
That's how you grow, right?
Exactly. That's where the real magic happens. It's like leveling up in a video game.
Makes you want to, like, run to the bookstore, doesn't it?
Right.
So I'm curious, for you listening, like, what's one thing that's really sparked your interest after all this talk about reading?
Yeah. What are you kind of itching to explore more in English?
Is there, like, a type of book you've always wanted to try?
Or maybe a favorite author you'd love to read in the original?
Ooh, or even just a topic, something you're passionate about.
Let that be your guide.
Totally. Curiosity is like the best fuel for learning.
It really is. And remember, even if it's just a little bit each day,
Those small steps.
you add up.
So pick up that book, article, Whatever catches your eye.
And just go for it.
You got this.
Happy reading.
And that's a wrap for today's deep dive.
See you next time.